What if I revealed that she still replays thoughts of you daily, yet her name will never appear on your phone again? She observes you, scanning your updates, revisiting your old texts, reliving the emotions you stirred in her. But she remains quiet. She stays in the shadows, and if you don't grasp why, you'll remain trapped in uncertainty, in hurt, in a futile waiting game. Today, I'll break down exactly why she vanishes, why she keeps watching, and how you can turn the tables without uttering a word. If you hear me out, you'll see her and yourself differently forever. You're owed the truth. You're owed control. You're owed an end to silent suffering, and it starts here. This channel is a tool for men exhausted by pursuit, self-doubt, and confusion. If you know knowledge transforms lives, if you want this strength to reach every man who needs it, subscribe, like, and comment. Amplify this message. Together, we'll forge a generation of men who don't follow, they command. Let's dive in. The war she doesn't show. When she's alone, her mind becomes a battleground. You might assume she's moved on. You might believe you don't cross her mind. But beneath her curated smiles and casual posts, there's a struggle you'll never see. Part of her is still tethered to you, dragged down by memories she can't erase. She recalls how effortlessly you made her laugh, those deep talks where she felt truly known, a rarity few men offered. She aches for the security of your care, the thrill of your name lighting up her phone, the sense that the world was steadier with you in it. That ache doesn't just disappear, it lingers, stubborn as embers. Daily, even briefly, you surface in her thoughts. She hunts through old pictures, she skims your past exchanges, she questions your whereabouts, the company you keep, and whether you ever reminisce about her as she does about you. Yet overshadowing these thoughts is an unshakable dread. Dread that if she extends a hand, your reaction will fall short of her longing. Dread that revealing even a hint of weakness will strip her of dignity. Dread that you've already left her behind, discovered someone superior, outgrown her entirely. This dread paralyzes her. It stiffens her fingers before they can form a single word. It smothers every urge before it can surface. Her silence isn't apathy, it's armor. But fear isn't her only captor. Pride erects a barrier between her emotions and her actions. Pride demands patience. Pride whispers that the first to act is the first to falter. Pride corrodes her spirit with the lie. If he truly cared, he'd make the first move. Pride leaves her glued to her screen, yearning for your name to appear, yet vowing never to expose her need by breaking the quiet. Then ego takes the knife and twists it. Ego doesn't suggest, it dictates. Ego hisses, "You are the prize, not the pleader." Ego warps her logic until reaching out seems not just dangerous, but degrading. In her mind, a simple message becomes a war, connection versus control. Every moment of silence is both agony and perverse triumph. Agony because the void echoes what's gone. Triumph because her pride remains unbroken. This conflict tears her apart more deeply than you'll ever know. Some nights she wavers, she nearly types the words, she nearly lets her guard down, but at the final moment, fear and pride unite to strangle the impulse, and she seals her heart away once more. And here's the truth that cuts deepest. The longer you hold your silence, the more the weight shifts to her side of the war. When you refuse to reach out, when you resist the urge to chase, you strip away the comfort she secretly desires. She expects you to crack first, to cave under the tension of uncertainty. But when you stand firm, it disrupts her narrative. It shakes the foundation of her safety. If you break the silence, she wins effortlessly. Your vulnerability becomes her validation. But if you remain disciplined, if you stay unmoved, her certainty crumbles. Doubt seeps in. Restlessness builds. Instead of fading, the memories of you grow more vivid, more agonizing, more inescapable. Your silence is your strongest weapon. It corners her with everything she tried to avoid. It makes her question herself, wondering if walking away was her greatest regret. So grasp this. Her silence isn't indifference, it's fear. Fear of shattering the illusion she clings to. Fear of admitting what she truly feels. Fear that while she's been hesitating, you've already moved beyond her. The power behind her silence. Her silence isn't forgetfulness, it isn't closure, it's strategy, a calculated play to maintain dominance. The instant she suspects you might long for her, the moment she senses your curiosity, she recognizes her advantage, and to preserve it, words are unnecessary. Silence is her weapon. Silence breeds uncertainty. Silence sows unrest in the one who feels more deeply. She understands that initiating contact means relinquishing control. Sending that message, revealing her cards, risks painting her as the desperate one, the one who cares too much. And in her world, that is an unacceptable surrender. By staying quiet, she gambles on your emotions crumbling first. She bets that your thoughts will spiral, that you'll overanalyze, revisit old photos, scrutinize her social media, searching for clues. She wagers that the silence will grow so deafening in your chest that you'll cave just to end the torment. The second you break, the second you send even the most casual, "Hey, how have you been?" you surrender far more than you know. You erase the enigma, you dissolve her doubts. You confess, without meaning to, that you're still bound to her, that she still lingers in your mind, that you're still holding on. And once she realizes this, the balance shifts. The control she feared slipping snaps back into place. She doesn't need to reply warmly. She can leave your message unanswered. She can deliver a frosty, indifferent response. The power isn't in her reply, it's in the proof that you cared enough to break the silence. You might tell yourself you're just being courteous or taking the high road, but in this unspoken battle, perception is irrelevant. Intentions don't count, only actions do, and by reaching out, you've exposed your hand, revealing your vulnerability while she remains shielded, untouchable. Her silence is a strategy of convenience, not courage. She doesn't call, she doesn't text, she doesn't justify, she waits. Because history has taught her that most men can't withstand the void of no response, that most will trade their self-respect for closure, that eventually they'll break just to feel something. But her silence isn't strength, it's fear masquerading as control, pride pretending to be detachment. It works because the world mistakes indifference for power. In emotional warfare, the person who seems to care less dictates the terms, and silence is the perfect illusion, even while it hollows her out. If you reach out, you hand her certainty, you soothe her doubts, you let her win without her ever stepping onto the battlefield. But if you outlast her, if you master your impulses and stand your ground, you strip away her refuge. Now she must face the void she tried to ignore, live with the consequences of her choice. Wrestle with the creeping thought, did I ruin the best thing I had? At first, she'll dismiss you. He's just being stubborn. Then accuse you. He's playing games. But as weeks become months, pride cracks, the whispers grow louder. What if he's really gone? What if he doesn't care anymore? What if I pushed away someone who'd never walk away? That's when her armor becomes her cage. The silence she wielded as a weapon, it's now the echo chamber of her regret. And you, the one she expected to chase, you're no longer the prisoner of her games. You're the ghost she can't outrun, the illusion of moving on. You see her smiling in pictures, that same radiant grin that once made your pulse quicken. You scroll past snapshots of her adventures, nights out with friends, golden hour silhouettes, carefree laughter in crowded rooms. You notice the quotes she shares, bold declarations of self-love, resilience, and moving forward. And it stings, doesn't it? It looks like she's already forgotten you, like she's thriving without you, as if what you shared meant nothing. But here's what you're missing, what most men never grasp. No one posts their truth. They post the lie they want the world to believe. Behind that flawless selfie, a mind replaying every what if behind those empowering captions. Nights spent choking back tears into a pillow that still carries the ghost of your presence. Behind the curated perfection, a hollow ache she can't outrun, no matter how fast she moves or how bright she smiles for the camera. She doesn't post because she's over it. She posts because she's hiding from the silence that screams when she's alone, hiding from the gnawing truth that something irreplaceable is gone. Every photo is a distraction. Every caption is a performance. Every story is a carefully constructed barrier between the world and the storm inside her. She's not moving on. She's pretending to. She's trying to convince herself, not you. She's drowning the echoes of your memory in noise, flirting with strangers, chasing validation, losing herself in crowds. But when the music fades, when the drinks lose their buzz, when the room empties, and all she's left with is the weight of her own thoughts, that's when the act crumbles. That's when she remembers. That's when the mask slips. Alone at night, phone glowing in the dark, she replays your voice in her head, revisits the way you knew her, not just wanted her, remembers what it felt like to be cherished by a man who saw her soul, not just her skin. And that ache, it cuts deeper than any breakup anthem. It echoes louder than any strong woman caption she posts. But if you cave, if you text her first, you become her escape. You dissolve the tension. You give her a fleeting high of validation, a temporary bandage for the wound she refuses to acknowledge. You teach her she can lose you without ever really losing you, if instead you let the silence speak. If you stand firm as a man who respects himself more than he craves her. That's when the weight becomes unbearable. Not because you're cruel, but because she can no longer outrun the truth. No amount of distractions, no curated happiness, no performative moving on can fill the space where you used to be. Real regret doesn't happen in the spotlight. It festers in the quiet, in the unguarded moments when the world isn't watching and the act drops. The illusion she built, for others, for herself, crumbles piece by piece. First, a flicker of doubt. Then, relentless what-ifs. Finally, the crushing wave. Did I destroy the one real thing I had? Your silence isn't punishment. It's the mirror forcing her to see what she's done. So you don't react, you don't chase. You let the silence do what words never could, reveal the cost of losing you, the power of silence. You must not break. Every day you resist the urge to reach out, every time you refuse to check her stories, every moment you invest in building a life beyond her. You grow larger in her mind. You become the one she can't replace, the one who walked away without looking back, the one she assumed would always be there until he wasn't. No matter how happy her pictures seem, no matter how confident her captions sound, no matter who stands beside her now, she will know. She lost a man who had the strength to release her without begging, without bargaining, without breaking. That kind of man is unforgettable. That kind of man leaves a wound no distraction can numb, and that kind of man is who you become, if you stay silent and keep moving forward. The moment you lose the instant you make the first move. The second you send that harmless text, you lose. The moment you react to her story, hoping she'll notice, you lose. The second you comment on her post, fishing for a reaction, you lose. You lose. Because your action proves one thing: she still controls your emotions. She still occupies space in your heart. She still has you exactly where she wants you, wondering, waiting, hoping. That one message, that one like, it's fuel for her ego. It whispers without you ever speaking a word, "You still mean more to me than my own pride." And once she knows this, she won't miss you. She won't feel the ache of loss. She won't regret a thing. Why would she? Why mourn a man who's still emotionally within reach? Why long for someone who's still orbiting her world? The moment you break silence, you surrender power. The moment you reach out, you confirm her hold over you. The moment you react, you reset the clock on her indifference. So don't. Let silence speak for you. Let absence do the work, and let her wonder, for once, what it truly means to lose you. The uncomfortable truth. A man who can't control his emotions becomes invisible to her. Every text you send, no matter how small, screams that your need for her outweighs your self-respect. It broadcasts fear, not purpose. It reveals that you crumble without her attention, and instinctively she recoils. Weakness is predictable, and predictability is the death of desire. Those remember when messages. They don't rekindle her attraction, they shrink you in her mind. Each word chips away at the strong man she once wanted. You transform from a rare prize to just another guy clinging to what's gone. Every attempt to fix things only proves her decision right, because strong men don't negotiate their worth. They don't plead for another chance. They let their absence speak louder than their presence ever could. If you want her to truly feel your loss, you must disappear. Not for a week, not as a game, permanently. Become a void no distraction can fill. Leave her with questions that haunt her at 3 a.m. Did I let go of someone irreplaceable? What if no one ever understands me like he did? Was my pride worth this emptiness? This isn't about manipulative silence, it's about unshakable self-worth. The kind that says, I don't chase what walks away. I don't convince people to see my value. I move forward, even if it means leaving the past behind. That's the silence that doesn't just make her miss you. It makes her question everything. It forces her to see you differently, not as the man who begged for her attention, but as the man who chose himself instead. The one who could have had her, but walked away without looking back. If you break your silence even once, you erase every ounce of progress. You surrender the emotional leverage you've built. You become predictable again, just another man who couldn't resist reaching out. But if you stay silent, if you hold your emotions like a king holds his crown, untouchable, unwavering, you become something far greater. You become the one she couldn't keep, the man who didn't chase, the man who didn't beg, the man she wonders about in the quiet hours. Silence is your power. Discipline is your weapon. Emotional control is your victory. True strength isn't measured by who speaks the loudest or fights the hardest. It's measured by who controls himself when others lose control. Powerful men don't act on impulse. They don't let temporary emotions dictate permanent actions. They don't seek validation from those who walked away. They know their worth isn't defined by who stays or who leaves. They know their value doesn't diminish just because someone failed to see it. Emotional control isn't just a skill, it's a shield. It's what separates the weak from the strong, the ordinary from the extraordinary, the forgettable from the unforgettable. When you can sit in the silence, feeling the pull of missing her and still refuse to move. When you can endure the storm of memories, the ache of longing, and still stand firm. That's when you transform. You stop being a memory she can manipulate. You become a mystery she can't solve. You're no longer the man waiting by the phone. You're the man out of her reach. Unpredictable, rare, unbreakable. And that is how a man becomes legend. The man. She can't forget you. Become the ghost she can't exorcise, not because you're chasing her, but because you've vanished into your own evolution. Women don't ache for men who linger in their DMS. They don't lose sleep over those who beg for scraps of attention. They mourn the men who disappear into their purpose, the ones who refuse to be defined by her absence, who build empires, not pedestals, who treat their own worth as non-negotiable. These are the men who become unforgettable. When the urge to text her claws at you, when you think, this time she'll finally see my value, stop. That moment of resistance isn't just silence, it's strategy. With every hour you hold firm, you shatter her certainty, you fuel unanswered questions, you turn her win into a slow-burning regret. While you're silent, her mind races. Is he happier without me? Did someone else recognize what I took for granted? Was the problem never him, but me? But this isn't about her. It's about you. Every second you choose discipline over desperation, you're not just reclaiming power in her eyes, you're forging unshakable strength for life. Because men who master their emotions don't just win back respect, they rewrite the rules of the game. The unstoppable mindset. This is your sharpening. This is your awakening. Every moment of restraint hones your mind like a blade. Every act of discipline forges your spirit into steel. You are becoming the kind of man no woman forgets, the kind no world can break. Master your emotions, and you master the battlefield. Master your emotions, and you master your destiny, your new reality. It begins with a single, irreversible decision. You are no longer the man who chases ghosts, no more waiting by the phone, begging the universe for a sign, no more drowning in memories of a past that no longer serves you, no more shrinking yourself to fit someone else's absence. That man is dead. You buried him. Now you rise. From this moment forward, you are the center of your own gravity. You build a life so vast, so unshakable, that her absence becomes meaningless, a ripple on the surface of an ocean she can never sail again. Her silence is no longer rejection. It is redirection. Every second she doesn't reach out is a second you claim for yourself, for your mind, for your body, for your mission, for the empire you were born to build. You are not here to beg for someone who chose to walk away. You are here to create a life so magnetic people regret ever letting you go. The truth. You must remember, women do not complete you. No one completes you. You were whole before her. You are stronger now that she's gone. Her leaving didn't break you. It broke the illusion that you needed her to be enough. You lost nothing when she walked away. You lose everything if you abandon yourself trying to drag her back. Stand firm. Burn brighter. Outgrow the need for anyone who doesn't see your worth. This is your rebirth. Now go claim it. You surrender everything when you trade your self-respect for scraps of attention from someone who questioned your worth. That weak, chasing version of you, he's dead now. The world overflows with new horizons, better women, greater victories, deeper connections that don't require you to shrink, explain, or plead. But these blessings only find men who move forward, not those paralyzed by nostalgia. Life favors the relentless. History remembers those who choose growth over grief. Today, you stop haunting your own past. No more energy wasted on what-ifs. No more waiting for her epiphany because you've had yours. You'll become her regret through sheer evolution, not with speeches or late-night texts, but by building a life so vibrant that the man she knew feels like a myth. Your absence becomes her obsession. Every update she stalks screams, "I lost something extraordinary." You don't chase, you don't bargain, you outgrow. And when she remembers you, and she will, it won't be with pity or satisfaction. It'll taste like the one who got away. One day she will feel it, a dull, relentless ache she can't silence. The realization that she lost a man who didn't crumble without her but instead became unstoppable. This isn't about her. This is about taking back what was always yours, your power, your pride, your peace. Every time you resist the urge to reach out, your resolve hardens. Every moment you stay silent, you ascend. Every step you take without glancing back, you reclaim another piece of your life. She had her chance. Now you're building something far greater, not for her, but for the man you were meant to be. If this message resonated with you, if you believe every man deserves this truth, then stand with us. Subscribe, like, comment. By doing so, you're helping us reach thousands of men who are hurting in silence, men who need this fire, this strength, this unbreakable mindset. Together, we're forging a brotherhood of unstoppable men, men who lead, men who build, men who refuse to settle for less than they deserve. This is your call to arms. Will you answer it?